Hello students, in my previous audio lecture session, I discussed about the European painting and the Chinese painting and what lies the difference between the two painting. In case of the European painting, you have to borrow the eyes of the painter, whereas in case of Chinese painting, it is an exercise, both physical and mental, in order to appreciate a Chinese painting. That means, in other words, in order to analyze a Chinese painting, you have to delve deep inside the mind of a Chinese painter. And not only that, you have to travel through the painting along with the painter in order to appreciate a Chinese painting. And unlike the European painting, the Chinese landscape is not realistic. And you can enter the painting from any point you like. That is the main thing that I discussed. And there is the concept related with dimension of time in case of a Chinese painting. So I stopped in this part in my previous audio session, but a bit is left regarding the concept of San Shui that I will discuss in this particular audio session. This particular concept of San Shui actually means mountain water. Literally, it means mountain water. The two words represent the landscape, two complementary poles. The vertical mountain is yang, which is stable and warm, and it is masculine. The horizontal water is yin, that is feminine, resting on the earth, moist and cool. If you closely look at it in your text or in this particular audio session also, if you listen, you will find that even complementary, but their characteristics are contrasting to one another. Because in case of yang, it is stable and warm and it is masculine, whereas in case of yin, it is moist and cool. So the characteristics are different. And I already told you yang is masculine and yin is feminine. This is the basic notion of dualism. Notion means concept. And remember the middle void region where the yin and the yang, they interact. In between the receptive feminine and the active yang, the two sources of universal energy, there is the third element also. That one I just now told you all. The essential third element is referred as the middle void. The empty middle space or middle void region. Void means something that is empty. Empty space or empty void region where their interaction takes place. Interaction between whom? Between yin and yang. Masculine, feminine. It is essential. Hence, the Chinese landscapes leaves white unpainted space. So, the white unpainted space in a Chinese landscape is actually the middle void region, or we can say it is actually the unpainted white space in the Chinese landscape is actually the referred as the middle empty space. This is also the field where man plays a key role. Now, if we consider it, the concept of San Shui or yin and yang from the world perspective, then the human beings acts as the medium of communication between the poles of the universe. So, I repeat this line. This is also the field where man plays a key role. He becomes the medium of communication between both the poles of the universe. He is the eye of the landscape. So finally we can say it is the human beings. He can be referred as the eye of the landscape. So what is the concept of San Shui? Remember, San Shui actually means mountain water. And mountain water itself represents two complementary poles. And the vertical mountain is yang, which is stable and warm. I am repeating this concept because this concept is very important for your exam also. And the horizontal one is yin, that is the earth, that is moist and cool, and it is feminine, whereas yang is masculine. This refers to the basic concept of dualism. Now, in between the receptive feminine and the active yang, the two sources of universal energy, there is a third element also. In your book, it is written essential third element. Now, there is a Hindu concept of exercise or yogic exercise that is related with pranayam. Breathe in, retain, and breathe out. That is not mentioned in this summary, but in the text it is there. When I discuss the text, I explain that part also. Breathe in, retain, and breathe out. That retain part is actually the middle void region. And the white unpainted part in a Chinese landscape is actually middle empty space, or in other words, it is the middle void region. So I continue. In between the receptive feminine and the active yang, the two sources of universal energy is a third element, the middle empty space, where they are meeting. Meeting, we can say, interaction also we can say takes place. It is very important, or in other words, it is very essential. Hence, the Chinese landscape leaves white unpainted space. This is also the field where man plays a key role. He becomes the medium of communication between both the poles of the universe. And finally, we can say he is the eye of the landscape. Or human beings, considering from the world's perspective, human beings can be cited as the eye of the landscape. So that was the remaining part of this particular summary section. I hope you have understand the concept of San Shui. The important part related with the summary from where question can come in your exam is obviously about Wu Daozi, then obviously about the painter who was reluctant to draw the eye of the dragon, then obviously Quinten Messiers, that part also is very important. Apart from that, concept of San Shui, yin and yang, very very important. Then the main difference between the European painter and the Chinese painter, very very important. So these are the concepts, these are actually the topics within the chapter. You all should read very carefully, because from here the ones that I have discussed right now and the one that I have discussed in my previous audio session also is very very important. I have highlighted some of the important topics from where questions will come. So dear students, listen to this audio lectures very carefully and very minutely, and if there is any doubt, do ask me. Thank you students, thank you all.